Yeah, superb stuff from the French. They have qualified along with Indonesia and the USA. And talk of Indonesia and the USA, here they are. Recently qualified for Tokyo 2020 and now an immediate chance to get some silverware. Let's go to the stadium announcer for the team introductions for the gold medal match.
Representing the United States of America, Jacob Wookie, Jack Williams, and Brady Ellison. And their opponents, shooting on target number 2, representing Indonesia, Arif Paknestu, Bagas Prastiadi, Riau Salsabila. The line judge for the matchup is Christina Heitmeyer. It is all about
well, a cracking result for Indonesia here to qualify for the Tokyo Olympic Games. They got a chance to test themselves immediately against arguably one of the toughest teams in the world, the USA. The lineup for Indonesia: Alvianto Prastiadi, 17-year-old Arif Angestu, with their team leader Riau Salsabila. USA will shoot first, and it's Brady Ellison, individual bronze medalist at London 2012, individual silver medalist at Rio 2016, now qualified for Tokyo 2020. He'll shoot first here.
9.
Jacob Wookie, London 2012 team silver medalist with Brady Ellison. Over to Indonesia. Astiadi starting off with a 10. What a start from Indonesia, Nikki.
Both these teams have obviously had a big break with the lightning delay, and I wondered if they'd crash down, but both come out shooting ever so well.
Yeah, a little less pressure on these two teams compared to our previous contenders. Ooh. Was that in the 9, or did that go into the 8 ring?
I thought I saw an 8.
Yeah, I think you're
left.
Just a little high that time from Prastiadi. Well, a 10 will definitely get the set points. I think a 9 might be enough here. A little bit of movement. That's dropped into the 8. Now, I think the USA are on 54. The scoreboard says 55. Nikki, thoughts?
I agree. I thought I saw that last arrow go into the left 8, so I think we're also tied up. So we're just going to have to wait for confirmation of the scores.
Yeah, after a cracking start for Indonesia, they dropped the ball a little bit, 3-8 to finish off.
I wonder if the rain conditions have just got heavier, and I wonder whether they tried to aim off for that maybe, because the rain can make your arrows go lower, so they might have, you know, compensated for that by aiming a little bit high. Odd why all three of them did the same thing and didn't sort of transfer that across, if that was the case. But it, you know, it can slow down the speed of the arrow in flight, but also your tab, that piece of leather between your fingers and the string, getting a bit wet, slowing the release down, so that can cause the arrow to fly slower as well.
Yeah, well, you can see the rain is coming down a bit harder. The judge has got her hood up. The archers are sitting underneath umbrellas. It is a point each, as we thought it would be. 1 apiece after the first set. Now, are the scores going to continue to be affected by this rain? USA, to some extent, salvaged a point there. Perhaps because of the rain, you can now start to hear it falling a little bit more heavily. Brady Ellison will get us back underway. Jacob Wookie just taking a little bit of time here to set himself up. Is that going to be rain related?
I don't think so. He did the similar thing on the last set as well. Not quite sure why. Perhaps getting his hand in position. If his hand gets wet, it can slip in the grip, so it's important you are getting a good contact, and perhaps he might be drying his hand before putting it in there.
Yep.
28 back in the groove. Oh, just pulling off to the right this time. Salsabila. Leading out Prastiadi. Here's the 17-year-old Arif Pangestu. USA could put this out of reach. They can afford to drop a single point in these 3 arrows and still get both points in this set.
Hear that communication from Brady, telling his teammate, keep it strong.
We talked about him coming off the line very quickly. I mean, he fell off the line there.
He's just so fast. I wish he would follow through and complete the shot, but he's so keen to get off the line quick.
And there are the set points for the USA in this second set. They've set a target that Indonesia simply cannot reach. They're on 26 at the moment, so a maximum of 56 is not enough for the 57 scored by the USA. 3-10s would be nice, though, to give them confidence going into the next set. That's dropped into the 7 by the looks of things. So, in the end, a 53 for Indonesia. I'm curious about this, the order that the Indonesians are shooting in, Mickey. It goes Salsabila first, and then if I'm right, it's Prastiadi followed by Pangestu, and then for the second rotation, it's Pangestu, Prastiadi, Salsabila. Is that a fairly standard thing for teams to do?
I guess not. What we normally see is, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes we'll see someone go first and last, but it looks like they've got a slightly different rotation in there. So, I mean, they will have spent a long time going through those rotations, seeing what works for them. It could be due to all sorts of factors about confidence, going out first or last, or how much time you take on the line. So if you hold in at full draw for a long time and the clock's ticking away, you only get 2 minutes to shoot these 6 arrows. So, you want to have a fairly fast shooter on the line at the end to make sure they can finish well and within the time. So, obviously come up with this combination as something that works for them, and it's certainly gotten this far and to take an Olympic ticket with them.
Yeah, that's true. I added 2 to their score as well. They actually scored 51, but the rotation not working out. I mean, there is an element of pressure that comes with competing against the USA, of course, but at the moment, the order is not really working for Indonesia. USA have taken a 3-set-point-to-1 lead in this intriguing gold medal match. It's the first gold medal match we've had since all the teams qualified for the Olympic Games.
See what we did there.
Indonesia now trailing, so over to Salsabila to get set number 3 underway. That's a better start for Indonesia. So 29 for Indonesia. Whilst Olympic qualification is sorted out now for the recurve men's team, this is crucial not only for the title that's available here, but also in preparation for the upcoming Archery World Cup Stage 3, which is also hosted here in Paris, starting in just a couple of days.
Yeah, that's right. These are the last kind of dress rehearsals now for the Olympic Games. So this and the World Cup, and then, I think we're pretty much onto the Olympics. So you want to gain a lot of confidence from this experience and go in there as strong as you can.
just hitting the line. So two teams level on 29 points. A little bit of communication going on there between Jack Williams and Brady Ellison. Any idea what was going on there, Nikki?
I think they were just talking about perhaps where they aimed. You know, where you bob on, where you have to aim off slightly. They're just, you know, going around the goal a little bit, so to making sure you know exactly where to aim to get a 10.
That opens the door a little bit for the USA. That's just dropped into the 9. That hit the other arrow, didn't it?
It did, yeah. You heard a bit of a clatter, got a deflection. It would have otherwise been a 10 if that arrow wasn't there already. So it's a shame, but you get where the arrow landed.
So 3-point room for error. Now down to 1 with an uncharacteristic 8 from Ellison. He thinks the process he went through was okay. By the looks of things, just aimed in the wrong place. Bit of pressure here on Jacob Wookie. Pretty calm though, pretty cool. But by my calculations, they can only tie with Indonesia, and that's if Jack Williams shoots a 10. That's a 9. Now I've got them on 55, which means Indonesia have struck right back, and we're all tied at 3 apiece.
Yep, I think the same. So right back in the match.
Oh, it looked like they'd opened the door a little bit. Now, curious as to what happened with Ellison's second arrow, the final arrow from him in that set, because he had a little word with the guys afterwards. So what do you think happened? Rain affected?
Yeah, I mean, whether he was saying, you know, there was nothing wrong with that, you know, you need to aim off, because then Wookie came out and shot left. So that makes me think that was the scenario there. Jacob then over-aimed off left and got a 9. So, yeah, I mean, look, the flags aren't doing anything there. Creating a bit of a barrier at the moment.
It's been changeable, the wind conditions, so it's interesting to see. It'd be interesting to find out what Brady Ellison said. Certainly the look on his face would suggest that he was a little bit curious as to why his arrow had dropped into the 8. The coach there having some words with them as well.
Kiesik Lee, one of the top coaches in the world ever, coaching the USA team. Been Brady's coach for many, many years now.
Well, the USA have been pegged back by a feisty Indonesia. They'll shoot first in this 4th set. Gold medal at stake here. These two teams have already qualified for Tokyo. It's almost a little casual from Jacob Wookie.
The thing is, if you shorten it too much, eventually you turn away so quick you affect the shot, so it's better to follow through, but God, he shoots well with it, doesn't he?
Certainly does, and that young man there, Jack Williams, just 21 years old, really is part of the furniture now when it comes to the recurve men's team. Absolutely solid and got years at the top of the sport ahead of him. Pressure on Indonesia. The response is a 9. So whatever happens through this first rotation, Indonesia will be behind.
Eight.
9-8 liner, I'd say. We're probably going to have to go for a measure on that one, potentially.
So 26 or 27. USA so far haven't missed the center of the target in this fourth set.
9.
Commentator's curse right there.
Still room for error though for the Americans. They can still afford to drop one more point and be safe, even if the second arrow from Indonesia gets marked up.
9.
That is the 1 point. Maybe you were right, Nikki. A 10 will do it.
10.
Jack Williams, you have really impressed me today. A 58 is out of reach for Indonesia, even with the benefit of a markup on one of their arrows. Lovely shot from the 17-year-old. And a great finish as well from Salsabila. Indonesia were good enough to qualify for the Olympic Games, but the USA were just a little bit too good, taking gold here in Paris. Both teams will be on the range in Tokyo in just a few weeks' time, but the gong goes to the USA here in Paris. Brilliant performance from the USA. It took them 4 sets in the end, but the Brady Ellison story continues, doesn't it? Bronze medal in the individual at London 2012, silver medal in the individual at Rio 2016. Surely he's going to be getting gold in Tokyo 2020, Nikki.
That is the elusive medal. He's never ever won that gold Olympic medal. He's won pretty much everything else in the sport. World Championships, 5-time Hyundai World Cup finalist, gold medalist, you know, just pretty much everything. He needs that gold medal, and is this the team that's going to help him get there?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's got 2 bites of the cherry. The form that he was in before the world shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic was just electrifying. It was terrifying to face him on the range.